ish for some time. Ukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatam ham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So thank you so much, everyone, for those who are staying and waiting so that we can have this discussion in English. So it's a difficult task to do it in three languages and to make you wait, but we have no other option, so we have to go like this. So today we will talk about Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. So I'll just sing the first stanza or the first text of Sri Shikshashtakam, and then we will continue our discussion. चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहदावाग्निनिर्वापणं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण Sankirtanam. So when we talk about anything which is wonderful, we don't only talk about one feature, but we talk about multiple features of it. Just like if we are talking about a gulab jamun, we don't only say that, it's sweet. We can also say that it is round, and we can also say that it is very soft. And when you put it in your mouth, it will just get melt. So the more we talk about its different features, what will happen is the desire to eat will actually increase. And when we eat also, we can relish more. Right. So similarly, this Harinam or the names of the holy names are so wonderful, are so powerful that we need to understand it from multiple angles by through multiple examples. So that is why this Shikshashtakam will give us different examples and different benefits of this holy name. Right. So we have learned about Cheto Darpana Marjanam. What it does, it will actually cleanse the mirror of our consciousness or our heart or our mind so that we can understand that the Jivera Swarup Hoye Krishnera Nityadas. So the Swarupa of the Jiva, right? Now we have this Rupa, right? But this is not real because we've been changing the bodies. So what is the actual Swarupa? That it is the servant of the Lord, right? So Swarupa not only physical terms, but also in terms of the consciousness, right? Now in our consciousness, we are sometimes boss, sometimes behave like das. Why? Because now we are in bhakti. Earlier we thought like, everything has to go as per my plans only. I want to control others. I want to control myself. I want to control the future. I want to control the results. So much of controlling mentality was there. So that is why we were behaving like a boss. But once the Cheto Darpana Marjanam happens, we will understand, oh, we are not boss, but we are das. Now we might ask like, okay, fine. If Cheto Darpana Marjanam is done, then why we have to learn about Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam? Why? Because knowing that who you are is not sufficient. Because even after knowing that who you are, you still have to spend some time in this material world. And if you don't know how to survive in this material world peacefully with the holy name, then it will be like a half information. So that is why we are going to explore more about how this holy name can actually help us. So we'll try to see the meaning of these words. So Bhava Maha Davagni. So the Bhava means the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. The material world is known as Bhava. Bhava means everything here changes. Like we take birth, we grow for some time, we maintain our body, and then it dwindles and it goes to the death, right? So everything is changing in our body also, whether we know it or not. The degeneration and regeneration of the cells is already constantly happening. So everything is changing. So a world where things are changing is known as bhava, right? In the spiritual world, things won't change, right? We will be of the same age, where whatever age we are into, we'll be in the same body, right? So what happens in bhava is everything is changing and everything is unstable, right? We cannot guarantee that this thing, this person, this situation will be same. So everything is changing, then there will be uncertainty, and because of that, there will be problems. So Maha means great, and Davagni means forest fire, right? So we see that in the forest, the fire takes place not because someone goes and put fire, right? The fire sets in the forest automatically because of the friction of the leaves, friction of the wood. some spark will come and it will automatically set. So if you want to extinguish the small fire, you can put some water. If the house is set on fire, you can call the fire brigade and you can get the thing done. But if there is forest fire, actually on our own, we cannot extinguish that. Sometimes we hear in the news that, for the days or months together, the forest fire is burning. So that has to extinguish on its own, or the other option is that the rains has to come, right? So similarly, in our heart also, in this world also, there will be Davagni. Prahlad Maharaj says that this world is designed in such a way that whatever we want, that we don't get, and whatever we don't want, that will keep coming in our life. Sometimes we have to live with a boss or a person in a family whom we don't like, and we have to get separated from the one whom we love. All right. So some or other way, we are put into pain, we are put into suffering into this world. So what we have to do then? Okay, we have understood that we are not the body, we are the soul, we are the Krishnadas, but still we have to spend some time in this material world. That is why we should know how to do the process of nirvapanam, that is extinguishing this fire. Now this world sometimes look beautiful also, sometimes looks attractive also. When the life is going well, when the plans are working, we will feel like this is also not so bad world, yeah, right? But actually, just because some things look attractive and beautiful, it doesn't mean that it changes from dukhalem to sukhalem. Just like sometimes if you go to a jail, the jail also may have some good gardening, good plants, and good attractive things. If you go to the jailer's office, you may find some good paintings or some articles which are good, but that doesn't mean that it is not jail or is a place where we can be happy. It is always a place of misery only. So like that, even though the things are attractive in this world, still this is dukkhalam and ashashvatam. Many times we feel better at home, and sometimes to greet our relatives or any guest, we will say like, just feel like home. Okay, why? Because we want to comfort them. So in home, why we feel more comfortable, why we feel more secure? Because things won't change so rapidly. We can trust people in our home, right? That they will not change or they'll not be, radical. Okay, but when you go outside, anything can happen, isn't it? That is why the insecurity will be outside more, and at home it we will feel safer. So similarly, in this material world, this is not our home. So there will be always some anxiety, some insecurity, something or other thing is going wrong. So just like if we have any plans to solve any problem, we will experience that once after solving one problem, the another problem will pops up. Once we try to solve that, another problem will come. So one after another, the problems are keep coming on, and we will start feeling like how long I'm going to live like this, right? But we have to understand that this world is designed like that. It's a broken world. Okay, it is never meant to get fixed. Okay, if we are trying to fix, it is like trying to build a sand house or a paradise of sand on a beach. What will happen? One wave will come and it will swipe out everything that you have built. So similarly, no matter how much we try to settle in this world, will not be settled. So what we have to do then, right? So rather than just thinking about settling things or fixing things in the world, we have to know how to survive in this world, even though when things are not fixed, right? So the Shastras and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura says that there are three kinds of miseries or the problems that exist in this world. Now, the one is Adhyatmika, the miseries that are coming or arising from body and mind. Like we have physical diseases like TB, cancer, or diabetes, or blood pressure, or whatever it is, right? Some skin disease, some heart disease. Multiple diseases are there which are actually arising in the body, and because of that there is misery. And some are like mental disorders. We have a lot of anxiety, envy, lust, greed, dissatisfaction, hatred, anger, okay, insecurity. All of these are like, burning things on us, right? Sometimes to motivate someone, we will say like, do you have a burning desire, right? That means a desire that is not making you sit, you're just going after it, right? So similarly, some of the desires we have are burning, right? And when we see that our desire is not getting fulfilled, but our competitors' desires are getting fulfilled, like what I am not able to achieve, if someone else is able to achieve, then we'll feel jealous, right? So jalna in Hindi, what we say is jealous. So jalna means getting burnt, right? So we are also burning our consciousness. We are also burning ourselves in these mental and bodily things. Then even if we try to be good with our own body and mind, there will be other living entities who will start troubling us, right? Sometimes insects will actually trouble us. Sometimes the viruses like corona make our life miserable. And sometimes even if we have some good disinfection and all, but the other persons may harm us in a gross way by beating us or by stabbing us or some or other way. Even if we try to have good relationship with every living being, still we cannot avoid adi daivika, that is the natural calamities, right? Like earthquake or the torrents of rains, which will actually not only make us drenched, but it actually make us go away from this world. So all of these problems are going to be there as long as we are in this material world. Okay, so this material world is known as dukkhalem ashashvatam. But in that same verse, actually Krishna gives actually one hint that you are in the miserable world, but you need not stay miserable. Okay, you can actually have peace even during in this world. Okay, how that can happen? Now, Srimad Bhagavatam in the third canto, 25th chapter, Sri Kapila Dev says to Devuti that Madashraya katham rushtaha shrinuvanti kathayanti cha tapanti vividhastapa naitan madgata chetasaha. Engage constantly in chanting and hearing about me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The sadhus do not suffer from material miseries because they are always filled with thoughts of my pastimes and activities. So we might think like how this is possible. So let us take an example. When you break your hand or when you are going through some painful condition in your body, then doctor not only gives you the curative medicine, but he also gives you the painkiller. Why? Because it will take some time to cure your disease. Meanwhile, you need not go through all the pain. You need not experience all the pain. For some time, you can actually ignore your pain. Why? Because I can give you painkillers. So when we take the painkillers, the pain will be there. Okay, we cannot say pain is not there, but our consciousness is not going there. That is why we don't experience pain. Right? So pain's existence, we cannot wipe it out. Okay, but we can wipe out our focus on that pain, right? Sometimes it is also known as the diversion theory, right? So if you are in stress or if you are going through some pain, then people will say like, try to do something that you like, try to engage yourself into something else so that you can move on, right? When the breakup happens or when any relationship crisis happens, we also say like move on. How you can move on? Getting busy into something else so that you cannot think about it, because it will take some time, okay, to fill all those wounds, fill all those gaps. But meanwhile, you do not be miserable, right? So when you break your hand, just 6 weeks or 10 weeks, you have to take rest. But you have two options: either to just think about that broken hand or leg and keep worrying about it, or you can think about something else, because however, it's gonna take time. So whether to spend your time wisely by thinking something better or by complaining, blaming, and thinking, worrying about you, that's our choice, isn't it? So what the devotees does, they know that there are some things which can be fixed in this world, which can be controlled, but there are millions of things which cannot be fixed, cannot be controlled. So what I should do, I should try to control that which can be controlled, and I should try to depend on Lord and depend my consciousness on thinking about the Lord, so that all these uncontrollable things, even though they are troubling me, I can stay away from the troubles, at least on the basis of consciousness, right? When we are in a very hot summer, we don't try to create an environment where there will be no hot summer at all. No, summer will be there every time, no matter whatever we try to do. But what we do instead, we'll try to find out an air conditioned room, right? Or a room or a place where the things can be cooler than the outside environment, right? So we don't try to control that which we cannot control. We cannot control the summer, but we can control the environment in a smaller way by getting ourselves into an air conditioned room. So similarly, this Harinam Amrut, so this nectar of the holy name, what it does is that it will give us some shelter, that shelter which can actually cool down or extinguish the fire that is going on within, right? Sometimes we see that people are trying to solve their problems in a material way only. They think by earning more, by consuming more, by having more possessions, they can actually solve certain problems. That's what they think. Yes, with money we can solve some problems, but not all the problems. So they can, sometimes we see that, people who are sitting in AC also, they have stress, and because of that, the sweat will come out. That means being in AC, actually sweat should not come out, but they are inside, stress is so much that sweat is coming out. So what they have to do, they should not only air condition outside, but they should also air condition inside, right? How we can do that? Through Harinam. So through the holy names, what we can do, we can actually cool down the temperature inside, right? The Shanti, or the kind of soothing or cooling effect that we need, actually comes because of holy name. Because it tells us that, there are things which you can control, there are things which you can desire and get, but you cannot get everything. So it gives us the understanding and the difference between what I can do, what I cannot do. And because of that, what will happen? Even though there are things which I cannot do, I still accept them, right? So a devotee is always, he makes his consciousness busy in Krishna, so that all the other things that are happening won't affect us. Sometimes we see that our children are watching TV, and they are so much absorbed in watching TV that we call them 10 times, they'll not respond. So the shouting is still there, but he cannot hear it. Why? Because he has invested his consciousness in listening to what is going on in TV. So similarly, the pain is there from all this Trividha Tapa is there, but a devotee engages his consciousness in Krishna. That is why, even though it is there, it won't affect us, right? So earlier, when we were not Krishna conscious, if someone insults us or someone cheats us, our world would get devastated, right? But nowadays, even though we are going through some troubles because of other people, maybe in terms of insult or cheat or any kind of thing, we are actually accepting the things in a more easier way. We are not getting affected too much, right? Why? Because on a bodily level, financial level, or in whatever gross level, we can experience some pain, but we understand that this is the nature of this world. We cannot have all the people who can make us happy. We will have people who will trouble us. We cannot have all the situations that can make us happy. There will be situations where we have to be miserable. So we are started accepting it. So that is why we are able to shift our consciousness from thinking about those which are going wrong by thinking about Krishna. So a devotee doesn't just get over magically or drastically. He get over his bodily pains or bodily miseries because he can invest his consciousness. He can engage his consciousness in Krishna. So Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, it will happen only when we chant the holy names. So when we chant the holy names, we will get the relief that, yes, this world is miserable. That is why I am not willing to stay over here. And to go beyond this world, I have to take these names only. Sometimes people tell that, I have a lot of problems. What should I do? And we will tell them that, you start chanting the holy name, and you start reading Srila Prabhupada books, eat prasadam, be association with devotees, and your problem will be better. At least some things that can be solved, you can solve, and that you cannot solve, you can accept it. So this thing will happen. So we'll meet them after 3 months or 6 months, and we'll ask them, like, how's your chanting is going on? How's your Krishna consciousness is going on? Then they will say, like, nowadays the problems has increased, and I've got very much busy. That is why I was not able to chant properly. So now this is the stupidity that we have. We took the holy name only because we have problems. And now we are not chanting because we have problems, right? Sometimes you hear from these people, like they say, like, I was got very busy. I got married. I got children. So I got this, I got that. Because of that, I was not able to chant. So you came for the holy name only because you had problems, and now you don't have to time to chant holy name because you have problems. So this is called as, we are just ignoring the principle itself, right? You are going to the doctor and you are telling, I still have the body pains. Then the doctor will ask, like, did you take the medicine? You will say, no, I could not take because I had body pains, right? So the medicine was given for that particular treatment only, and you have ignored that. So Bhava Mahadavagni will be there constantly. Durga Devi has a Trishula which shows that Adi Daivik, Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik. So with this three, she's trying to poke us, push us so that we can go beyond this world. If our house owner is very friendly, very nice, if we start feeling like, there is no need to buy our own house, there is no need to go anywhere else, then actually it will be a problem, because it will struck our growth also. So similarly, if this world becomes beautiful and happier for you, then there is a problem that you have to spend more time here, because sooner or later things will go wrong in this world. So some people try to fix this world, think that maybe after this time, maybe after this year, life will be better, life will be better. No, life cannot be settled in this world. Srila Prabhupada says this Bhavasagar is not a place for a gentleman. You have to go beyond this world only. So we see that the pure devotees, the associates, eternal associates of the Lord, will keep coming into this world so that they can deliver us. Now they already know that it is Dukkhalayam and Ashashvatam. Why they want to come? Because they know that there is a risk, but along with that, they have an insurance. Why? Because they know how to be Krishna conscious. So Srila Prabhupada has gone through so many troubles, so many miseries, but still he continued to grow. Why? Because he knows how to engage his consciousness, how to engage everything into Krishna consciousness. So as long as we are there, the fire of this Bhavasagar will be there. But what we have to do, we have to learn how to engage our consciousness into Krishna. And that can happen very easily if we chant the holy names. So the Cheto Darpana Marjana will happen and make us identify that we are Krishna Das, not boss. And then, even though we are in Krishna Das, still we have to go through some troubles in this world, because we have to survive in this world for some time. So for that, what we can do, we can try to engage our consciousness in Krishna, and Krishna's names will help us engage in Krishna. So because of that, what will happen? Though everything might be going wrong, still we can be right. Just like the hot summer is outside, but still we can sit in an air conditioned room. Even though it was raining outside, we still can have a raincoat or an umbrella under which we can protect ourselves. So holy name will actually extinguish the fire that is built through all this material nature. And this is a very important thing that we have to learn, because we are supposed to spend some time over here. And as long as we are here, we need not be miserable. This is Dukkhalayam. This is a miserable world, but we need not stay miserable always. We can choose to engage our consciousness in Krishna, just like Prahlad Maharaj. Generally, we come to bhakti because we have problems. But Prahlad Maharaj had no problems. His all problems started because he was becoming a devotee. Right? We become a devotee because we have problems. But Prahlad Maharaj, after becoming the devotee, only his problems started. But during all those problems also, we never hear that he was stressed, he was in anxiety and all. He was always peaceful. Why? Because Magna Chitta, he was engaging all his consciousness into Krishna. So we can also try doing that, so that the burning things that are going in our heart, right, that going on in our life, can have an opportunity to get extinguished. So the holy name, which will, what it will do, it will extinguish the fire of this material miseries. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. So the rains that we are expecting to fall, so that our burning things in our life and in our heart should cool down, that is the holy name. The more fire is there, the more rains are required. So it depends on your condition, your heart. You can decide how much I need this holy name and how long I have to chant. And definitely you will find that cooling effect. Okay. So this is about Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. Shri Shri Shikshashtakam ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna.